What's up, Marty? I had to have a little fun with this. So check it out. Check it out, Marty. Number one, you like the hat and the shirt. Never forget who you are or where you came from. Mike Spires is one of the most famous tenors in the world. That was our guy. That was our classmate. He's the only opera singer I've ever seen where when he got up to sing, people would crowd surf and start mosh pits while throwing the rock horns. And I think there was even some profanity used because I was in a sound booth and I recorded it. We talked to Darcy, our teacher. We knew he got it, that it got recorded on there. That was not my fault. Fun fact. So we're listening to Handel's 12 Concerto Grossi, right? Concerto Grosso, the great concert is what that essentially means. But it's a particular style, right? A fast, slow, fast movement. Handel was a late German Baroque composer who spent most of his time in England writing opera and then later oratorio, but he spent 6 years in Italy learning the craft of opera where he brought it to England. And part of the reason that Italian opera blew up so big in England was because Henry Purcell, who was England's primary opera composer, kicked the bucket at a young age, kind of in his 30s. And then Handel brought in the Italian stuff and it was a hit ever since until John Gay brought something called the Beggar's Opera, which was an English opera, but kind of a musical because there was some dialogue in it that was literally making fun of the obsession with Italian opera in England, which basically killed Handel's career. Unless he came up with something else. That's when he started getting into oratorio. And that's where he would write, I believe Esther might have been his first famous opera in England was Rinaldo, right? Rinaldo. And I think the first oratorio I think that he wrote was Esther. Messiah was written in 6 weeks, but it wasn't his last. I don't remember what his last was. I think it was followed by Judas Maccabeus. Anyway, my point is, as we're listening to George Friedrich Handel, we're going to be working on routing. We're going to be working on going in and basically figuring out how to configure routers, right? This is a new field for me. Fun fact, see the building in the back, the edifice, if you will? This is in Venice, Italy. That's called the St. Mark's Cathedral. Mom and I are actually going to Italy next summer. Now, we've got it all planned out. We bought all the tickets. We're on Viking cruises. We're going to Athens. We're going to Venice. We're going to, fun fact, Venice, that cathedral, both Antonio Vivaldi and Claudio Monteverdi actually performed in that, right? In fact, Monteverdi actually created the idea of antiphony. It kind of came from the Greeks, but if you know anything about Italian opera and its origin coming out of the Baroque, it actually was sort of kind of throwing back to the calls and responding of the ancient Greeks. Well, they're going to borrow these ideas and they're going to be able to put, multiple choirs in different, raptors up in here and above, and it's going to create that stereophony feel. L'Orfeo was actually the first famous opera by Monteverdi, but he didn't like it as much as he liked L'Arianna. Right, that one he was more fond of. And fun fact, Claudio Monteverdi was not the first composer of opera. It was actually Jacopo Peri with an opera called Daphne. But the most epic and recognizable, Claudio Monteverdi was actually a writer of madrigals. And so he had all this, material at his dispense. So when he came in to write opera, he wrote it with a bang. Go hard or go home, right? Okay, so now we're going to go into this. I just wanted to put that out there. So what we're going to do here is work on router configuration. Right, and combined with classical music. So I took some screenshots, all right, because I've been studying, but I want to show you how else I'm going to do this. Router configurations. I know how to configure the IP numbers on the end users. All right, so we're going to start here. As Spinal Tap would say, roll and roll. We're going to start here with a song. Oh, yeah. This is what I've been doing on my breaks They're basically triplet preludes. Hey, look, Marty, There's Larissa. Anyway, so we're doing an absolute hybrid between network engineering and fine art, Western fine art music. So I need to learn how to configure the routers. Alright, so we put all handle on pause.
Cisco packet tracer router configuration guide. Step 1.
Network device router.
1. Open Cisco packet tracer.
2-click network devices.
Routers 3. Drag a router to the workspace.
Step 2, add and connect
Don't think I'm
devices.
not going to shred
1. Add a
this.
PC. 2. Use a copper string.
Through cable.
Reconnect PC. Fast Ethernet to router. Gigabit Ethernet.
Step 3,
Access the client. Click the router.
Access the client.
Press enter.
Step 4, enter privileged exec mode.
Enable step 5. Enter global configuration mode.
Router number.
Configure terminal.
Step 6, set host name.
Router. Step 7. Configure interface. R1. Configure interface. R1. Configure interface.
Change things up, which is going to
Step 7, configure interface. R1, R1, R1.
modulation.
7,
It's a sexy way of saying keychain.
R1.
There's your big 3 IP address is set massive.
Step 9, verify interface status. Show it interface brief.
Step 10.
Test connectivity, ping 19 to 11.
That address is set out in ARPA place.
Configure passwords.
Line console.
Pay passwords.
Cisco.
Login.
Enable secret class.
Step 12.
Save configuration.
Copy running config. Startup config.
All right. We'll see how this works.